I'm David Ringstrom, a CPA in Atlanta, and welcome to our presentation on filtering and slicing data in Microsoft Excel. Over the course of our time together today, we're going to see a number of ways that we can take lists of data and collapse them down to just what we need to see in a given moment. The filter feature has been around in Excel for decades and allows us to provide criteria for individual columns by clicking on filter buttons. It's also a great way to get a bird's eye view of data that's in a given list by being able to quickly see one of each item in a given column. The slicer feature takes it even further. Slicers haven't been around as long as filters, but they've been around for a number of years now. And they're a visual tool that I like to describe as a remote control for the filter feature. So they too allow us to collapse our list down, but with much less clicking. As we'll see though, filtering has continued to evolve, and there is also a filter worksheet function that we can use to filter data as well. So a bit of background about me. I have worked as a spreadsheet consultant for over 30 years. I am a CPA and an author. Among the books I've written include Microsoft 365 Excel for Dummies. And I've taught over 2,500 live webinars at this point. So suffice to say, I have lots and lots of hard-fought knowledge to share with you in Microsoft Excel to help you work more effectively. Where we're headed in today's presentation is we'll get started with the filter feature. In case you're brand new to it, we'll see some of the ins and outs of it and some of the nuances that we can run into, such as if we want to have totals for data that we're filtering. That is a pretty easy trap for folks to fall into, and I'll show you why. We'll then see how to take filtering to new levels by turning our list into Excel tables. By doing so, we can then employ the slicer feature, which again is that remote control that we can use for filtering our data. The great thing about slicers that you'll see is, unlike the filter menus, which you can see all the list constituents when you click on the filter button, as soon as you close that menu, then you're at a loss as for what's being hidden. You can see visually what's being shown on the worksheet, but sometimes what's being hidden is just as relevant, and slicers you see both sides of that at the same time. From there, once we've covered the table feature and slicers, we'll dig into some advanced filtering techniques, including the advanced filter feature, as well as the filter worksheet function. Those two will give you more ways to filter and in a more automated fashion, rather than having to do so much clicking. After that, we'll finish out by looking at pivot tables and pivot charts, which also have filtering capability as well. I'm going to be presenting from the Microsoft 365 version of Excel today, specifically the Windows version. You may be using Excel for Mac, and most of what we are covering today will look and feel and work exactly the same way across both platforms, but I do want to caution you to expect some differences, partly based upon the operating system, partly based upon some favoritism on Microsoft's part, where Excel for Windows has just a bigger feature set than Excel for Mac. There's, in my estimation, about a 5% functionality gap between the two platforms. And so whenever you run across something that you can do maybe at work on your Windows computer at work, but you've got a Mac at home and things are slightly different, that can always be frustrating. So if you do run into that functionality gap and aren't sure how to get out of it, or clear if you can do it on the Mac, maybe just look in a different place, feel free to send me an email, ask@davidringstrom.com. You can also email me if you have not received the handouts for today's presentation, which do include a PDF of today's PowerPoint, as well as an example workbook, as most of the examples I'll be teaching from. This particular slide gives you a preview of my teaching style, where all my PowerPoint slides are broken down into a number of steps. In some cases, we're talking about worksheet functions, and so the functions will be broken down in that case. But I will walk you through the procedure on the PowerPoint slide and then go over to Excel and demonstrate it firsthand. So you will get to see everything firsthand, and you'll see it twice, and you'll also have very detailed notes to follow after the presentation. If you're not clear what version of Excel you're using in Excel for Windows, you can click on the File menu. Step 2, choose Account. Step 3, on that account screen, if it says Microsoft 365, then you'll be able to use everything that we covered today. The filter feature, I think, is the main thing that could be unavailable if you're using a particularly old version of Excel. And at this point, I'm going to classify particularly old as Excel 2016 and possibly 2019. I know that the filter function works in Excel 2021, and later it will be documented on the slides if there is anything that requires a specific version of Excel. But rest assured, there'll be plenty of takeaways no matter what version of Excel you're using. Our first section is going to give us a kind of an introduction to the filter feature. From there, we'll see how we can manage the filter buttons. I will show you some shortcuts for filtering. There's a right-click menu we can use. We can also create a keyboard shortcut that works in certain instances with filtering. And we can take that up a notch too by adding a clear filter command to the quick access toolbar. Because typically when we filter, we then need to unfilter, and there's a clear command that removes the filters. And then at the end of the section, we'll see how to create some ad hoc totals while filtering. Now, a way to make totals easier to use while filtering is to use the table feature, but that's not always an option that you'll have. So that's where we're going to contrast where you could write your own to create your own totals on the worksheet, or in the following section, we'll see how the table feature can automate that for us. Well, let's get started with filtering. And data that you wish to filter should be in the form of a list. It ideally should not have any blank rows or columns. Now, with that said, if you do have blank rows or columns, you'll simply need to select the entire list. Normally, you don't have to select the list when you use a feature on the Data tab. And in fact, typically in Excel, unless you're applying formatting such as bolding, underlines, colors, things like that, number formats, you don't need to select all the cells first. That can be a big time waster for a lot of folks of going in unnecessarily selecting their data. When it comes to filtering, the only time that you need to select the entire list is if it does have the blanks in it and you're maybe trying to filter the blank rows out. So you can select, typically you can just select any cell within your list. Step 2, go to the Data tab. Step 3, click the Filter command. That will add a filter button to the top of each column. And one way that I like to use the filter buttons is just to take a quick tour of the data. If it's an unfamiliar data set and I want to get a sense of the data without having to scroll and scroll, because that ends up being overwhelmed, where we're scrolling and we're like, there's only so much information that we can accumulate before we've hit overload. So as we can see in step 4, for any column within my list, when I click the filter button, a menu will come down and I'll see a list of one of each item in that column. So it's nice for a quick bird's eye view. But let's say I want to collapse the list down to just certain values. Maybe in this case, this list of fruit sales, I want to collapse it down just to sales that occurred in Macon. Then once I've clicked the filter button, step 5, I can click select all, which will clear that checkbox. And then step 6, I can turn on Macon, which is the item I want to see, and then click OK. As shown in step 8, we see that at this point, only rows that contain Macon will be shown. Now, a great thing about the filter feature is that when data is filtered, the hidden rows are protected. That's not always the case. If you've attended other of my presentations, you may have seen where I talk about the group feature and or also the subtotal feature, which creates an outline of the data. Outline data, the hidden rows are not protected, and you can inadvertently format or affect the hidden rows. But